Yo, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. And I bring some sad news or good news, depending on how you look at this. Our boy, the one and only Hideaki Itsuno, has left Capcom after 30 years. He has left Capcom. Damn. I have an announcement for all my following followers. At the end of August 2024, I will be leaving Capcom after 30 years and 5 months. Thank you for your long-term support of the games and characters I have been responsible for. I'll be able to continue to support Capcom games and characters. From September, I will start developing a new game in a new environment. I hope to create fun, beautiful games that are more memorable or even more memorable than the ones I have created so far. Please stay tuned for my next creation. So Hideaki Itsuno has been responsible for directing the Devil May Cry games since 2 all the way to 5. And I believe he was also a producer in DMC Devil May Cry, and as well as other Capcom projects like Dragon's Dogma 2, Power Stone. So he has been involved in many Capcom projects. And after seeing that Itsuno has worked on many great games, it's sad to see. It's very sad to see. And this news can definitely make a devil cry. That shit was good. And honestly, I have bad respects for Itsuno for creating some great, awesome games, and also for creating one of my favorite games of all time, Devil May Cry 3. And aside from Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma, he has been involved in many other projects from Capcom. You know, Power Stone, as I mentioned, Rival Schools, Capcom vs. SNK and SNK 2, Resident Evil series. So he has been involved in many Capcom projects. And honestly, looking at his resume, it's a pretty crazy resume. It's pretty crazy. So this was kind of foreshadowed earlier in the year because he did talk about in an interview when we're talking about Dragon's Dogma 2 that he was thinking of creating something new, something different from Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma. After focusing on Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma for 20 years, Capcom's Hideaki Itsuno says it will be fun to create something new. He said that he was ready to work on something completely new, and I'm pretty sure this was his announcement right here. I guess the big things that he really wanted to make was Devil May Cry 5 and Dragon's Dogma 2 before his departure. I think him leaving Capcom after making 2 great games, Devil May Cry 5 and Dragon's Dogma 2, despite Dragon's Dogma 2 having some issues here and there, it's still overall a great game. And I'm glad seeing that Itsuno was able to make 2 games before he left Capcom. When you really think about it, a good amount of people who worked on the Devil May Cry series has started to leave Capcom. That includes Matt Walker, who was the producer of Devil May Cry 5, Ryota Suzuki, who worked on the game's combat in Devil May Cry 5, and now Hideaki Itsuno, who has directed all the Devil May Cry games except one, has left Capcom. It's sad to see, not gonna lie. And now pops the question, what is the future for Devil May Cry? And honestly, I don't know. But real talk, I actually do see a new Devil May Cry game coming out in the next few years. It might not be Devil May Cry 6, but I definitely do see Capcom doing something with Devil May Cry. So over the past few months, we have been getting some sales updates on Capcom games. How many copies of franchise has sold. So looking at Capcom's, top selling games, of course, Monster Hunter, kicking ass, of course, with Resident Evil, we could definitely see Devil May Cry 5 being at the number 10th spot, which is really crazy to see. This game came out in 2019 with over 8.40 million units sold, which is crazy to think about. And as me being a Devil May Cry fan, I didn't really expect this from Devil May Cry, honestly. So I know Devil May Cry can't really compare to the levels of Monster Hunter or Resident Evil, but there's a lot of people that love Devil May Cry. And for how many units the game series has sold, Devil May Cry has sold 32 million units, which is fucking awesome. And I believe a while ago, Devil May Cry was ranked like 7th place or 6th place as one of the top selling franchises from Capcom games. And other than that, Devil May Cry 5 and Dante has won the Capcom survey they released earlier this year, or at least the results of it. In Super Elections, Dante won as the #1 character, and as for title, Devil May Cry 5 won. So you can definitely see there's a lot of people that love the Devil May Cry series, and I don't think Capcom will let this slide. Will the next Devil May Cry project be Devil May Cry 6? Maybe? Or will it be a Devil May Cry remake? So we will definitely see a Devil May Cry project in the future. When? I don't know. Because I feel like this was Itsuno's plan all along. He wanted to make a banger of an action game, which was Devil May Cry 5, with so many crazy stuff you're able to do. And he was able to make his epic action RPG game he always wanted to make, or at least a sequel to that, which is Dragon's Dogma 2. So I feel like this was already planned a long time ago. Or maybe him and Capcom had some creative differences that didn't align with him. So I mean, for his best chances for him to create the games he wanted was to leave. Again, I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't know. So the next Devil May Cry project could either be a banger, it could be either decent, or it could be garbage. I really don't know. But real talk though, I'm thankful for all the stuff that Itsuno has brought us from many Capcom projects. Him directing one of my favorite games of all time, Devil May Cry 3, to restoring the franchise from a very, very dark era, which is DMC. He brought back the classic characters. He brought back what made Devil May Cry Devil May Cry. I'm glad that he's worked on many awesome games in the past, and honestly, I'm looking very forward to his next game. He is someone that definitely will deliver on his games. Itsuno has a crazy resume of games, so I'm definitely excited to see what he has in store next.